Welcome back to the More Sports Please podcast. I am joined by my co-host Gavin and Offenbacker. We're back with another episode. It has been a while since we've recorded. I mean, it's been like 2 weeks since we did our last mock draft, and we're here to talk about everything that's happened over the past couple of weeks. You guys got anything to add?
No, this is the first thing we've done since the draft, so we'll be going over the draft a lot, I presume. A lot going on in the sports world right now. So,
A lot of playoff activity, a lot of other stuff going on throughout the regular season in other sports.
mm.
Fun college things going on, or not fun college things going on in other cases. Shout out Brendan Sorsby.
Oh yeah. Someone's
yeah,
gonna get him in the supplemental draft, bro.
yeah. Lots to chat about, so
Yeah.
let's rock and roll.
Absolutely. We'll go ahead and start on the NFL draft and do some recap of that. Obviously, first overall was Fernando Mendoza. I
Yeah.
don't think there was a whole lot of big question marks. I mean, there were some in the first round. We can go ahead and talk about some. David Bailey, 2 to the Jets. I wouldn't necessarily, that's a big question mark, but it's not what we would have done.
No, absolutely not. This was a terrible pick by the Jets, and I let that be known during the live stream as well. Arvell Reese, if you wanted that linebacker weapon edge, he's a better edge than David Bailey. I agree with that. He's a better athlete overall. David Bailey is only fast, right? He's got one thing going for him. And sure, you could maybe say he's more pro ready, but that's not what I'm taking with the number 2 pick. I mean, I would have taken a lot of other people before him. Would have taken a receiver before him. Would have taken many things before him. He was like my 15th ranked player in the draft. So
Yeah, and you've been preaching that for a while, so it's not surprising to hear that take from you.
mhm.
Offenbacker, I'm not sure if you had anything to add about the David Bailey going number 2 overall.
No, not really too much. I think we covered it all pretty well during the draft itself. It felt like a reach at the time, and it looks more like a reach now. I
Mhm.
know that I think there was a couple teams that we were kind of slamming on their picks that they had in general during this draft, and the Jets are definitely one of them. So, I mean, I'm sure we can get more into that as we go along, but uh, not a great. It was definitely a surprise. I know that we think we all were taken aback by it a little bit when that happened, but
Yeah.
uh,
I mean, it's been rumored that they were going to take Bailey with number 2, but I just didn't think they would be that incompetent. But it's the Jets.
it's the Jets.
They did grab Sadiq with 16 though, right? That's who they took.
Yes, they did take Sadiq at 16,
I like that pick.
and then they took Omar Cooper Jr. at 30.
Yeah, I mean, 2 great weapons to your offense. Um, I'm huge on Omar Cooper. I love that guy. And Sadiq, I was hoping to fall to the Eagles, so I'm obviously really high on him too. So you got 2. Who did they got as the other tight end in the Jets? Is it Mansour Delane? Not Mansour Delane. Oh, well, not that's the corner
Mason
out of
Taylor.
LSU. Mason Taylor, yeah. Wrong M name. Wait, where did Mason Taylor go to college?
Mason Taylor went to was it LSU?
That may have been why I got it messed up. Yeah, he did go to LSU.
Gotcha.
So that's why I got it messed up.
The only reason I know that right off the top of my head is off topic. I'm currently doing a Jets rebuild on Madden right now.
Oh,
And
nice.
Mason Taylor was one of the first people that came up and was like, I want to start. And I'm like, no.
No.
Kenyon Sadiq will be starting. But anyways, Carnell Tate 4. I mean, Jeremiah Love 3 to the Cardinals, kind of shocking, but there were rumors to it. Carnell Tate 4 to the Titans. I think that was probably the earliest, biggest shock of the draft. I think that the Cardinals ended up taking who the Titans had on the top of their draft board and who they wanted, so they pivoted to Carnell Tate. It's not a bad pick, but I think it's a little rich for the wide receiver out of Ohio State, especially because I don't really think he was the best wide receiver in the draft class. Like
No.
I feel like they were all kind of clustered together, and 4 is pretty rich for a guy like Carnell Tate.
Well, it depends on what type of receiver you want. Tate has that upside to be like that X without the injury concerns, that like someone like Jordan Tyson would have. So I get it. It depends on what type of receiver you want for your offense.
Yeah. So and then 5, the Giants took Arvell Reese with that slide there, which kind of, again, a little surprising because you already have Kayvon Thibodeau and Abdul Carter at edge. So unless you plan on playing Arvell Reese as a stand-up linebacker,
I've heard that actually might be what they're going for. Like start him at stand-up linebacker and then maybe slowly transition him into edge. Is
wow.
what I've been hearing. Which is like, I mean, he's a weapon. He's not a bad stand-up linebacker, but I think his potential, you draft him to be an edge.
At 5, I feel like you have more options. You already have 2 good edge rushers. Why waste the top 5 pick on another edge?
Mm-hmm.
But the Chiefs end up trading from 9 to 6 and got Mansour Delane. Sonny Styles went 7 to Washington. Jordan Tyson 8 to the Saints, and number 9 Spencer Fano to the Browns, and Francis Mauigoa went to the Giants at 10. So
yeah, pretty solid picks.
Yeah.
Fano's, I would have taken Mauigoa over Fano if I was the Browns, but that's like the only big take I have, I guess.
At 11, Caleb Downs traded up with Miami just to make sure nobody leapfrogged him to get Caleb Downs.
Caleb Downs traded with Miami.
Sorry.
He's like, I am not.
I
going
do
to
not
Miami,
want to go
bro.
there.
The Dallas Cowboys traded with Miami, not Caleb Downs. Caden Proctor went 12 to the Miami Dolphins, which was a bit of a shock because
that was a reach.
Extreme reach. I don't have him. He's tackle 3 in the draft. I did not have him anywhere near that ranking.
Mm-hmm.
13 was Ty Simpson to the Rams.
Yeah. This was the
big shocker of the night, I think, for draft pick wise. You get the guy for the future, but man, you still have Devontae Adams in that receiver room, who is like, you're gonna get maybe 5 games out of him a year, if that.
Yeah.
He's not gonna play a whole year anymore.
You also probably could have gotten him way later.
Yeah, I was just about to say the 13th overall pick is super rich for Ty Simpson, and I even liked him more than like other people as a prospect.
Yeah.
But 13 overall is too much.
If
you want that pick, if you really want Ty Simpson and you're really looking towards building the future, just trade down or like trade back into the first round if you can.
Exactly. The only people I feel like they had to compete with were the Cardinals, and the Cardinals had already picked. So you just trade back in, but I don't know.
And the Cardinals wanted Carson Beck. They weren't even looking at Ty
Yeah,
Simpson.
they weren't even looking at Ty Simpson. They grabbed Carson Beck.
I forgot that they picked
god awful pick, by the way.
Yeah,
we're not going to go into
that
third
pick
round
later. Only Vega Ioane, 14 to the Ravens. Ruben Bain finally stops his slide at 15 to the Bucks.
Just a freaking slide of the draft right there.
Yeah. Kenyon Sadiq, 16 to Jets. Blake Miller went to the Detroit Lions. Caleb Banks goes 18 to the Vikings. Monroe Freeling, 19 to the Carolina Panthers. We'll skip over pick 20 and 21.
No, we don't got to skip over those picks. No, go back.
Philadelphia 20 picks Mekhi Lemon.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys seen the draft reactions, y'all saw how I reacted to it.
You saw how I reacted to it. It's great. Mekhi Lemon. This obviously means if it wasn't already obvious that we're going to be trading AJ Brown after June 1st, which is kind of like, bittersweet. He did have like a down year last year with some pretty crucial drops, but I mean, dude's still a baller. So it'll be sad to see him go. And Mekhi Lemon really fits this Shanahan style of offense that Sean Mannion's probably going to want to implement as the new OC. So Hurts is going to have to get really confident and throwing over the middle of the field because that's the kind of packages we're going to be running with him and Eli Stowers. You draft those kind of guys for that Shanahan style, just throw with anticipation. So this is I don't think Jalen Hurts has to prove anything, but this is kind of a prove year for Jalen Hurts, for lack of a better word, just to show that he can not just be a game manager that can win you a Super Bowl, which is, great for any quarterback, but that he can really carry a team. Well, not carry a team, but really elevate it by opening the entire field and prove that last year's offense was because of Kevin Patullo and not because of Jalen Hurts not looking at the middle of the field. That's a big debate in every offseason for the past few years, I feel like. So we'll see. He's got everything now. I'm excited. Gonna prove the haters wrong.
I think he's going to prove the haters right.
All right.
I think Mekhi Lemon's just going to come out and be the biggest bust we've ever seen, and Jalen Hurts he's going to take a shit on the field.
Okay.
All right. Riveting analysis.
Yeah, I like Mekhi Lemon. He was my top wide receiver. I wouldn't say top wide receiver, but he was one of the top wide receivers I had ranked in the draft class. And I really thought I really thought he was going to slide to 21. But
he would have. The Steelers were on the phone with him when the Eagles traded up.
Dallas, I read something that Dallas wanted to stick it to Pittsburgh because of the Mike McCarthy hire.
Really?
Is Jerry
Is
Jones-
that like an actual source? Is that just speculation?
I don't know. Jerry Jones was mad that Mike McCarthy's off to better pastures, and I
will say
don't
the
know.
Eagles did.
I mean,
overpay.
Jerry Jones is kind of off his rocker at this point, it feels like. So,
Yeah,
you know.
you know, old man. We
No,
didn't
I-
pay the interdivision tax for 2/4 to go up 2 spots. It's pretty steep in terms of the pure math of it. But
Yeah,
I'm completely happy with that.
you're going to tell me that the Dallas Cowboys and Philadelphia Eagles hate each other. I don't believe that.
Well, we hate them. That's why we keep fleecing them, bro.
I don't believe that. I think they're lover dovers, they're best friends, and Dak and Jalen Hurts hang out on the weekends.
Okay, guy.
21st pick, Pittsburgh picks Max Ihan. I still fuckers.
Ionichor?
Yeah, I thought it was Any Honcher, but
Nope. It's not.
Ihanichor, Max Ihanichor out of Arizona State. Akeem Mesidor goes 22 to the Chargers. God, the amount of times I can tell you and see here that the Steelers and Chargers have had back-to-back picks in drafts is kind of crazy. Like the year there was one, I think, maybe not, maybe it was the Dolphins. I don't know. I just feel like we're always picking around the Chargers.
Slightly above average teams.
Yeah. Malachi Lawrence, 23 to Dallas. Casey Concepcion to the Browns. Dylan Thieneman to the Bears. Keelan Rutledge sneaks his way into the first round with the Texans. Same goes along with Chris Johnson to the Dolphins at 27. Caleb Lomu to the Patriots at 28. Peter Woods at 29 to the Chiefs. Jets get Omar Cooper Jr. at 30. Keldrick Falk to the Titans at 31. And Jadarian Price is there at 32. There were a lot of trades at the back end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trades. If you count the San Francisco to Miami trade that happened a while ago and the Rams to KC trade.
I was going to say, I know that some of this was, teams within the first round trading with each other, but in retrospect, looking at the draft tracker, I did not realize how many picks were moved in the first round until now.
Yeah.
It seems like in retrospect, it seems like one of the more active first rounds we've had, I think, in a little while. Was it last year or the year before that we went almost halfway through the first round before anyone traded? I don't remember when it was.
Might have been last year.
I think it was last year. I think the year before we had like a lot of trades in the first round.
I'd have to go back and look at it, but it
Here's
just
what-
feels like a lot.
Here's what we should do now. We just went over the whole first round. We should each give our favorite pick of the first round and our least favorite pick of the first round, and it can't be our team.
Okay.
So do that.
I don't have a choice in that, so.
Yeah. Let's start with you, Offenbacker. Who's your favorite and then your least favorite?
Well, again, this is coming from the guy who's definitely done the least research on these prospects, so take everything I say on here with a grain of salt. I know that the situation that led to Ruben Bain's slide was definitely not a great situation, but I think it was the best value pick out of the draft in the first round. So I would say Ruben Bain was probably my top pick in terms of value for the first round. And I think I still have to go with the Ty Simpson trade for my worst pick, because I think it just felt like a weird move. It's like I get it, but at the same, I don't know.
But
I
at
felt like that one-
13, at 13.
Yeah.
I think I'd at least going to go that route, because like the Arvell Reese pick, I think we've kind of beat that one like a dead, or not Arvell Reese. I'm sorry, David Bailey.
Yeah.
we beat that one like a dead horse, I think, at this point. And yeah, that one's probably right up there as well. But
hmm
I feel like Simpson really would have been there much later, and it felt like a very weird decision for a roster that is almost always in win now mode.
Yeah. Definitely agreed. Both you. Herbert, you want to go next?
Gavin, I'll let you go. I'm torn. I got 2 favorites and 2 least favorites.
All right.
One's with my brain, one's with my heart.
I'll start with my least. I could say David Bailey because that actually is my least favorite pick of the first round. So I will say David Bailey. But honorable mention, and I'll talk about this since we already talked about David Bailey a lot. Jeremiah Love at 3 to the Cardinals. Great player. I mean, but because of where you took him, he's already the 7th highest paid running back in the league. And you're putting that amount of assets towards a position that, we're like kind of out of the era of like, oh, the running back doesn't even matter at all. We're kind of like getting out of that now. But I mean, you have so many holes on that roster, man. You have the 3rd overall pick and you take a running back. I don't doubt the talent, but I feel like they may regret not going at a position with more value, especially since in the 3rd round they throw a pick in the dumpster fire by taking Carson Beck for no reason. But that'll be my least favorite, and then my favorite is going to be Dylan Thieneman to the Bears at 25. Dylan Thieneman is just a freaking crazy free safety prospect, and if that was a position of need for the Bears, he slices them. I'd say he was probably a top 12 guy for me. The fact that he got all the way down to 25 was crazy. When the Eagles traded up, I was like, I wouldn't be mad if this wasn't even Mekhi Lemon. If this was Dylan Thieneman, I would have been ecstatic as well. And I think I was saying that in the live stream too. But yeah, so my favorite, Dylan Thieneman. Least favorite, David Bailey. Honorable mention, Jeremiah Love.
I like this idea. I think we should do this for all 7 rounds.
7.
No, we can. There's some other ones I want to talk about in the later rounds that I think were good value. But my favorite, I think, has got to be, and as much as I hate to say it, Vega Ioane 14 to the Ravens is just incredible to get a guard like that and that player in magnitude to help that offensive line that lost their center and brought in Josh Simpson at guard. That, I mean, with Vega, you get a guy that can just bulldozer over anybody. He's a pull guard that will absolutely block for Derrick Henry. That'll help out that O-line tremendously. He's a guy that I wanted to Pittsburgh if they were going to trade up because we need a guard. But Vega Ioane is just an absolute stud. And my least favorite, guys took the 2 easy ones. I would probably go. I'm going to go Keldrick Falk to Tennessee. I think there were better edge rushers on the board than the options that they had left, especially because they traded up with Buffalo to get the guy they could have ended up getting at 35 in round 2. I mean, yeah, maybe they wanted that 5th-year option, but you had guys like TJ Parker that were still on the board, Zion Young. I mean, better edge rushers that were there. Gabe Askis, I mean,
Cassius Howell.
Yeah, Cassius Howell, who went to the Bengals.
Yeah,
but
great pick, by the way.
The trade up for Keldrick Falk was just very questionable for me. And an honorable mention is Mekhi Lemon to the Eagles.
All right. Yeah, what's your rationale for that one? Where? Is that your rationale?
Go Canes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
It's not been a good month. It's not been a good year for sports.
Flyers are up 2-1 on the Canes right now. Halfway through the second.
We'll start the second. Go ahead and talk about some ones that I think were good value. Denzel Boston to Cleveland. God, dude, I hate how much I like Cleveland's draft class.
Yeah, they did good. Besides, I mean, Spencer Fano was good, but I would have a few guys ranked above him. Same with Casey Concepcion. I mean, they double dipped at. They double dipped at
wide receiver.
They double dipped at wide receiver.
No.
if there's a team that's gonna double dip at wide receiver, it's gonna be the Browns. I mean, you
Yeah.
get two guys that are complete polar opposite playing styles, and I mean, you got Jerry Judy and a bunch of guys you guys have just hoped have worked out, and they haven't. Cassius Howe to the Bengals, I think, was a good value
Yeah,
pick.
let's let Offenbacher
Yeah, if
say
you want
his
to talk about
thoughts
your
on
guy that you
Cassius
guys got.
Howell, edge out of Texas A&M.
Yeah, I've been hearing a lot of really good things out of Cassius Howe. It's definitely, I think, one of the more exciting picks we've had in the draft. Well, granted, it was our first pick that we got to have in the draft, but that's one of them that's got me really excited. I think honestly, the Bengals have had a really sneaky good offseason in general at this point, which I'm surprised to say.
Mhm.
I think this is one of the best off seasons they've had in a long time, and I think they've done I think they did a really solid job with the draft. I think there was a couple things they could have done maybe better throughout there. Selfishly, there was a couple of Bearcat receivers that I kind of wish they got, but they didn't do that.
Low moving
But
cost.
Cassius Howell, he seems like, from what I've seen and heard about him, he seems like the Shamar Stewart pick, but actually with production. And
Yeah.
so, that's got me pretty fired up. It seems like I've heard that he's got a lot of upside on his tape. I'll have to go in and deep dive on him a little bit more, but definitely an exciting pick, I think, to maybe actually beef up this defense. It seems like they've been going really heavy with any sort of defensive line picks over the first couple of rounds the last few years, but hopefully this is one that actually pans out pretty well. It doesn't feel like a project as much as the other
Yeah.
guys have.
I love Cassius Howell, dude. He was like one of my guys coming into this draft. He is just that he moves so fast for someone you would not expect 6'2", 253 to be able to get that low to the ground when he's dipping past these tackles, dude. And he's fast. He's a good run defender. Good at shooting gaps. So I really, really like this pick for the Bengals. I would have been not surprised if we got taken in the first round. So there you go. And look at the Bengals freaking lose Trey Hendrickson, but add Dexter Lawrence and Cassius Howell to their defensive line. So I wouldn't say that's a loss.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Cassius Howe I definitely had him going into the first round. I wouldn't say he was one of my favorite edge rushers, but he definitely was not one of my least favorite. He was definitely in that handful at the top. I had him ranked over R. Mason Thomas, who went right before him.
Mm-hmm.
But I had him under Zion Young, who there was a lot of edge rushers that kind of went, and that R. Mason Thomas went to the 40th to the Chiefs, 41. Bengals got Cassius Howe. Then Christian Miller and Jacob Rodriguez went. Then Derek Moore went 12 to the Detroit Lions, and Zion Young went to the Ravens at pick 45.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a run on edge rushers. Again, the Ravens hit it with Zion Young. I do like the Jacob Rodriguez pick. I do like the Derek Moore pick as well. I do think that might have been a bit of a reach, but I think if he's going to go anywhere and have a fantastic time, I'm glad it's Detroit State. Low moving cost. Jermaine Burton goes to Pittsburgh in a trade where Pittsburgh traded up with Indy to get him at Alabama, which, if you remember correctly, Indy traded us Michael Pittman Jr. So Indy has done more for our wide receiver core than Omar Khan has for the past 3 years, which is crazy. The Terrell brothers are paired up now in Atlanta with Avion going to the Falcons at pick 48. I do like the DeAngelis Pawn pick to the Jets at 50. Like they said, his pro comparison was Aaron Glenn, so he just drafted himself essentially.
Yeah, I've been hearing that. It's funny.
Brandon Cisse at 52. I liked him going to Green Bay. He was one of my favorite corners coming out of the draft. Eli Stowers to pick 54 with Philadelphia.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was a bit of a reach.
I don't think that was a reach. What are you talking about?
I don't know. I'm very low. I was very low on the tight end class.
For what Stowers offers is, like I said earlier when I was talking about Mekhi Lemon, is what the offense the Eagles are trying to build with Sean Mannion. He really fits that like wide tight end, doesn't have to block. Dallas Goedert will kind of be like, though they're both like bona fide wide receivers. Goddard's got the upper hand in blocking, but like Dude, that's just gonna be. You're gonna have Goddard, Stowers, Devontae Smith, and Mekhi Lemon running around the field, and Saquon Barkley coming out of the backfield. Like, what are we
Problem
gonna
is, they'll
do?
all be over the middle, and Jalen Hurts will ignore him.
Now Devontae Smith will run a bunch of curl routes and hitch routes.
Yeah,
And
I guess
the few go balls.
Then you got. Ooh, sorry, I'm still getting over a cold. I had bronchitis,
Bless
so
you.
been fighting that. Had to be
Bro's coughing like he's got bronchitis or something.
Emmanuel McNeil Warren goes 58 to the Browns. Another fucking slam dunk pick for Cleveland. I had Emmanuel McNeil Warren as my safety 2, and I had him ranked over Dylan Thieneman.
That's crazy. I like Emmanuel McNeil Warren, but he's safety 3 pretty comfortably for me.
I really liked him. Anthony Hill Jr. goes 60 to Tennessee. Like that pick, and pick 64 to Seattle. Bud Clark. Absolutely love that pick for Seattle. Bud Clark was amazing through this pre-draft process, and I think he's just going to absolutely tear it up in Seattle when he gets this opportunity. Carson Beck, number 1, goes 65 overall to the Arizona Cardinals.
Can we talk about what an atrocious pick this is? Like, I was hearing some analysis earlier, and it kind of made sense that this just feels like an FU from the front office to Jacoby Brissett, because he was like holding out because he wanted. Yeah. He was like, "I'm going to be starting. I want starting money." And they're like, "Okay, we'll take Carson Beck at the top of the 3rd because he's played a lot of football and is 50 years old." Well, so is Jacoby Brissett.
It's just a battle between the hunks at quarterback now.
I just don't see the upside with taking Carson Beck here, especially when you have so many other holes you need to fill. And you took Jeremiah Love with your first pick.
Yeah, a lot of the Cardinals draft was
terrible. Yeah. Terrible.
They didn't fill any needs. Who did they get round 2?
Chase Basantis, which is good. I like Chase Basantis. And that's a good interior offensive line. It's a good place to take him.
So the Cardinals with their draft have went value pick, need, value. Like in value, for Carson Beck,
you're not getting any value out of
Carson
Beck. What are we doing?
I like I use that term very extremely loosely with this person. I like Kenny Pickett, and Carson Beck reminds me of Kenny Pickett. Just because of how old they are coming out of college, the years of experience, I guess not really the age, but the experience of playing all 4 or 5 years of college. With Carson Beck, you have 8, 9 years of college.
Yep.
Yeah. And I like the Basantis pick, but I like who's the one center that kind of fell that I really liked?
I know who you're talking about.
I think the Bengals grabbed him.
Sam Hecht. Wasn't it? Or no, Connor Lew.
Connor Lew out of Auburn. There's a few centers I would have rather taken than Basantis, but
is that our
they've got
round pick? Yeah.
They've got Basantis listed at guard.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
You can. It's interior. Just all the same. You just got to snap a ball real quick.
Later in the 3rd, Markel Bell to the Eagles, offensive tackle. I mean, he's your standard typical Howie Roseman tackle, I feel like. So
just a freaking huge dude.
Yeah.
We're gonna see how our offensive line development changes without, Jeff Stoutland. He's been there for so long, and he was so good at churning out all-pro offensive linemen. Markel Bell does have the potential with his build, so we'll see if they can continue this legacy of developing these guys.
Another pick that I like was Romello Height to San Francisco. Those Texas Tech guys in this class they can play. Another pick, sadly, I liked at pick 72, Cincinnati grabbed Tacario Davis. He was one of my favorite corners coming out of the draft. I say this, I feel like I say this every fucking year, that I have these bowl of guys that just end up going to division rivals. And Tacario Davis was one of my guys. Malachi Fields was also one of them. He ended up going to the Giants. Pittsburgh at 76 took Drew Aller. You'd asked me a year ago, I'd have been livid. I could not stand Drew Aller. And looking back at his time at Penn State, he didn't really have weapons. He had Tyler Warren and an offense that was dedicated to a mobile quarterback, and that is not what Drew Aller is.
Yeah, Drew Aller's worse.
He's a I mean, he's got a lot of similarities to Big Ben, but the movement, his footwork needs help. He's got mechanics that needs touched up. His accuracy needs help, but he's got a fucking arm, man.
So who wins the battle, Will Howard or Drew Aller?
That's a good question. I would love Will Howard to start because I feel like he's obviously more pro ready. He has a year of pro under his belt learning from Aaron Rodgers. But I would hope Will Howard, if they battle in camp, wins it out. If Drew Aller comes in as a rookie and beats out Will Howard, you've lost me with Will Howard.
That was actually a
That's
trick
fair.
question. There's a secret third evil option called Mason Rudolph.
No, yeah. At this very moment, Mike McCarthy already said Will Howard is QB1. So
that's what they all say.
some ones, Jacoby Lane, another one of my guys, goes to the Ravens at pick 80. Lanky wide receiver. Go ahead.
I don't know. I just wasn't that high on Jacoby Lane. I feel like he could have fell even in day 3. I don't see this as like a steal by the Ravens or anything, but
The problem with him going to the Ravens is they don't need one of those like guys that can just take top off defense because you already have that in Tez Walker. Kind of, it's the same build.
Tez Walker.
I don't know. If you're going to take a guy to take top off defense, should have taken one in the first round. I feel like, but you still have Zay Flowers and a bunch of guys in there that are just tall, lanky guys that haven't been able to do anything. So maybe Jacoby Lane comes in here and turns that around. But I think he would have fit anywhere but Baltimore. Big Citrus goes at 82 to Minnesota. Chris Brazzell from Tennessee, wide receiver, goes to Carolina. I love that pick as well. If we weren't going to get Jermaine Bernard, then I would have loved to get Chris Brazzell. Dalen Everett goes to the Steelers at pick 85, a corner that is already put into a decent-sized corner room. What the Steelers love to do, their front office will keep every draft pick we have this year, unless it's a 7th rounder. I've only ever seen them cut a 7th round pick ever once in my life, and that quarterback went on to be a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
Who
for the Chiefs on their practice squad.
Oh,
wasn't anybody notable, but
yeah.
I think this kind of has the writing on the wall for Corey Trice. I feel like if he gets hurt again, it's done. It's wraps. So he'll be fighting for a roster spot. Emmanuel Pregnon falls to 88 in Jacksonville.
What a crazy fall that was. Dude.
Yeah, because he was predicted to go maybe back into round 1.
Yeah.
Absolutely in round 2. But it was a big slide for this man.
And also with Jennings Dunker.
Yeah, well, I was about to get to that one. Jennings Dunker to Pittsburgh on pick 96. This is probably my favorite pick of the draft. You get a guy in need of guard, and just the way he looks, his play style, I mean, it's going to be amazing. He is just a beautiful man that you can shove in there the guard that'll just fucking absolutely bulldozer a defense. So I'm very excited. I hope he gets, if he doesn't start beginning of the year, I hope he gets a starting role eventually at some point down the line.
Yeah, that was a great pick. First round talent. So what?
You think Jennings Dunker is first round talent?
Yeah, I loved him coming out, especially at guard if you slide him in. I think he's better at guard than he is tackle.
I agree. He is better at guard.
I would also say the same with Caden Proctor, but I don't know if the Dolphins are going to do that.
That's a good question. Top end of the 4th round, Jermod McCoy.
Yeah.
Slide stops to Vegas.
The second best cornerback in the draft, in my opinion, goes at pick 101.
Yeah, this motherfucker must be playing on one leg.
He's got to be.
Far.
It's crazy.
It's nuts. I didn't think he would slide this far, but the Raiders get him. They trade up 1 pick to get him at the top end of round 4. Another pick I liked is Caleb Proctor to Arizona. One of the few picks, like we said, I like that Caleb Proctor pick. They fills a need that Arizona touched on.
Do we want to stop going pick by pick and kind of just do the rest of our team's draft?
Yeah, we can do that. There's just a lot of picks in this draft.
I feel like Jermod McCoy
there's 200 picks, so
Jermod McCoy was probably the last one that I was really like, we should probably talk about that.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's just like the, no other crazy falls, I would say.
Caden Weegan picked 121 to the Steelers. You get a punt return, kick return guy out of Iowa who's got crazy speed, who I think was the best returner in the country. So good value there. I think people were starting to get him on the board, and I don't know. Some people say it was a bit of a reach, but it's a dude that adds what Pittsburgh absolutely needs in the kicker return and punt return room. Pick after that was Connor Lew to the Bengals. Like you guys said, Auburn center out of Auburn. He was also one. He slid a little bit, not much of a crazy slide, but it's another guy I also like that you put in Cincinnati. Who is their center?
It's Ted Karras.
Ted Karras. So an
Yeah,
aging Ted Karras
which he
center.
should still be the guy this year, but he's not getting any younger. Bengals need to start looking to the future, and they have sorely needed depth. I like the current starting offensive line for this year for the Bengals, but we're one injury away from that being completely derailed again. So
Wait, whatever happened to Billy Price?
that's a good question. I don't know where he's at.
Where is Billy Price?
Where is Billy Price right
Find
now?
Billy Price. Give me coordinates to Billy Price.
Yeah, I mean, getting a good value pick out of Connor Lew, it seems like a great pickup for the Bengals there. I'm really glad that they got a guy. I see that there's this stuff about him having torn his ACL last year, so hopefully the recovery went well there and
That's
there's
probably
no
why he fell.
lingering issues.
That. Yeah.
But I think, I think that's a good pickup.
Colby Young also went to 140 to Cincinnati, wide receiver out of Georgia. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about the guy.
I was gonna say I don't really know anything on this pick. This is where, like I was saying, there's a couple of receivers that the Bearcats had that I really thought would be great to get. I don't remember for sure where exactly they went. Cyrus Allen and Jeff Campbell, but would have liked one of those guys. I think this was the only receiver pick we had, if I remember correctly, and I just don't know anything about him. So hopefully it's a good depth piece.
The Bengals
I
need
like
receiver
the top.
bad, bro.
I was gonna say I like obviously love the top three, but
yeah,
again, depth would not hurt.
Never hurts to have more depth, especially if you like the guy.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh ended up trading back into the 5th round to get Riley Nowinowski, tight end out of Indiana. This is, I believe, the fullback role, somebody who's going to be in there to cover for that Connor Hayward position that we ended up losing because he went to Vegas. Their hitting position in need, but like I said, I was low on this tight end class. They drafted him. His position says tight end, but I think he's going to play fullback.
Fullback. What a Steelers thing to do.
Yeah, no shit.
Fullback.
Now, what an Eagles thing to do. Pick 178, draft a quarterback, Cole Payton out of North Dakota State.
Told y'all, this is just what Howie Roseman does. He just drafts backup quarterbacks and does it every year. We took
this is starter.
we took Kyle McCord. We took Tanner McKee, who's still with the team. Taking a lot. Took Jalen Hurts the second round. So this is just the textbook Howie pick, especially his quarterback out of North Dakota State. I think I was hearing the call between Howie Roseman and Cole Payton. He was like, I think I'm the first GM in NFL history to ever draft 2 quarterbacks out of North Dakota State. Probably. But yeah, I can't be mad at the pick. Always good to add competition. And as Philly fans know all too well, in a good way, it's good to invest in the backup quarterback position because you never know when you're going to need one. But yeah, also we missed a pick for the Eagles. We spent our second 3rd round pick and next year's 3rd round pick on Jonathan Grenard, to trade to get him and give him a 4-year, $100 million deal. So glad the Eagles did that.
What round did you grab him in?
I'm talking about the trade for Jonathan Grenard.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Massive brain fart. Holy shit. Jonathan Grenard obviously didn't get drafted. He was in Minnesota.
But yeah, I just think we needed – I mean, I like our starting edge rushers, Nolan Smith, Jalen Hunt, but Jonathan Grenard takes we love rotating guys, keeping them fresh. We needed depth bad in that position. So, I mean, I'll take Jonathan Grenard for 2/3 any day of the week, man. I love this trade. Fills a position of need. And yeah. And Vikings fans were very sad about it. So that means it's good.
We'll hop into the 6th round, and at the top of the 6th round at pick 189, Bengals drafted another center, Brian Parker II out of Duke.
Brian Parker the
Oh
second.
yeah, didn't realize we got 2 centers. That's fun. Yeah. I do see that they mentioned he had played some offensive tackle. Could move inside in the NFL. So I haven't really watched anything on Brian Parker. So same sort of situation, just not as much value with the Connor Lew thing. Depth piece, great. That's all good. So see how he does in camp and if he sticks around.
At pick 207, the Eagles grabbed Micah Morris, guard out of Georgia.
Yeah, just this is like a textbook Howie draft, dude. You just get another huge SEC offensive lineman, 6'5", 334. Started all 14 games at left guard in 2025. Just a big boy, and we're in round 6. Howie's gonna take that kind of player every day of the week. We'll see if he makes the team.
Yeah, speaking of Steelers drafted Gabe Rubio in 210. So far, he's the only guy that's popped up without a picture. And from what I've heard after this draft pick is that this was an incredible reach. Like,
Oh, really?
most people didn't think he was even going to get drafted. Goes here in the 6th round. He's a run stopper, which is absolutely what Pittsburgh is working to get. So you just throw a dart at the board and hope it hits in the 6th round. And
Absolutely.
at the back end, going into the 7th round, the Bengals take tight end out of Texas, Jack Enderies. I don't know if I got that right, but tight end out of Texas.
Yeah, solid. Looks like he was a receiver with Mendoza at Cal for a minute, so that's interesting.
Trade for Mendoza.
Yeah, so looks like more of a receiving tight end. Probably could use that for some extra help. I mean, never hurts to have more weapons. We're the embodiment of that. So, yeah, I think the Bengals have struggled a lot with tight ends basically ever since Tyler Eifert in terms of getting actual good tight ends. So why not throw a flyer at it?
Yeah.
At pick 224, the Steelers picked Robert Spears Jennings, safety out of Oklahoma. He was one of my back-end tight ends that I really liked. So I do like this pick here for Pittsburgh. He's gonna be more of a special teams guy that can run downhill and absolutely blast somebody.
So they're not turning this one into a fullback?
No, this one is not a fullback. But this one he'll play special teams, play on punt return and kick return. And then after that, the 226, which I believe was the Pat Tillman pick for Cincinnati, they picked Landon Robinson, defensive tackle out of Navy. I just want to speak on this real quick. I think this was a great pick. I like Landon Robinson. And I know he probably won't he'll touch the field, but I mean he's not going to be anywhere near starting defensive tackle with who you guys have in the room.
No, absolutely.
But I think it's incredible value with this pick at Landon Robinson.
That is kind of funny looking at the draft grade. They gave him a 36 grade, 395th ranked player, and they say he's a very undersized defensive tackle. But you know what? U.S. Navy beefy boys, let's go.
Yeah, and also I'm pretty sure I heard so like with these academy schools, you have to go through like a certain amount of conditioning, right? So I wonder if that like constant, like he probably couldn't gain as much weight as he probably wanted to,
right?
And so we're gonna see if you can really put some pounds on, put some lbs on, as in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, an underwhelming size at defensive tackle, you can change that pretty quickly.
Yeah, just eat a lot of burger.
Right.
Yummy.
Pick 230 for Pittsburgh, another Navy guy, Eli Heidenreich out of Navy. So I know I said Jennings Dunker was my favorite pick. This is absolutely a close second. This is like a 1A and 1B. Eli Heidenreich had pro comparisons, and I know this is a real big stretch, but Eli Heidenreich said people reminded him of Christian McCaffrey.
Oh,
As their place back, a
whoa.
player that can do just about everything at running back. And will he start? No. But the heart that this kid showed on being drafted and being from the area, he's one of my favorite draft picks this year.
Yeah,
It's
he was
definitely 1A
in.
and 1B.
He was there, right? Like in
Yep.
person.
Both
Yeah.
Navy guys were there when they got drafted.
Oh, that's cool.
I was going to say, I think I do recall his name from the bowl game because we played them in the Liberty Bowl, Bearcats versus Navy. And if I remember correctly, I'd have to go back and double check the stats, but I'm pretty sure this dude ate us alive. I mean, I know they run the triple option, so they run the ball all the time, but I'm going to double check that stats there. But I'm pretty sure that he was an absolute monster in that game.
Yeah, he's like I said, if Jennings Dunker, if I can't pick him as my favorite pick, is definitely Eli Heidenreich. Here, pick 244 to Philadelphia was Cole Wisniewski, safety out of Texas Tech.
Cole Wisniewski. This was one of the things I didn't like. Not this pick in specific, but I mean, I'm glad we got a safety. But I mean, at 244, it's not really. He's not going to make an impact. And we need safety, man. We got Andrew Makuba, second-year player. He showed flashes. He also showed some lowlights last year, but he's still young. And we got Marcus Epps. Don't get me wrong. Marcus Epps was there when we won the Super Bowl. He's been, won the Super Bowl the first time. He's an old guy. And so I'm glad he's back on the team. Not necessarily as a starter, though, especially with his age. So very concerned about that. And so we'll see if Howie Roseman does it. But Cole Wisniewski, I like it. Add some depth. Get a young guy in there. It's a fun fact. He started all 14 games for Texas Tech, but he started his college career at North Dakota State University.
Wow.
So
the roots just keep going deeper.
Has a type for sure. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens with him. See if he's practice squad guy, depth guy, if he makes the team. You never really know with these 7th round guys. But
the Eagles and how they treat their safeties reminds me a lot of how Pittsburgh treats their linebackers. Like, I expected to draft a linebacker, and they didn't.
It used to be flipped for us. We used to not care about linebacker at all until we got like Zach Bond and Nakobe Dean and Jahad Campbell, and then we just stopped caring about safety. It's only one. You only get one of them at a time.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't have both.
And then we'll touch on the last two Eagles picks here at 251 and 252. 251 was Uar Bernard.
Yes.
Tackle from the out of
Nigeria, baby. Dude, this is also what a Howie Roseman pick right here. I've been saying this for literally every pick we've made. But I mean, we saw what happened with Jordan Mailata. Never played a snap of football in his life. Turned him into an all-pro left tackle.
True.
Now, granted, you're not going to get that every time. I feel like some unnecessary, well, not unnecessary. We need to pump the brakes a little bit because this guy has still never played football. We can't expect a Jordan Mailata out of the Eagles every time they draft it.
No, this guy needs to be an all-pro defensive tackle next year.
But the thing is, dude, 6'4", 306 pounds, allegedly 6% body fat. I don't know how accurate that is because that's kind of insane. And runs a 4.63 40-yard dash and a 39-inch vertical jump.
Jesus.
Dude is
physical specimen,
freak of nature. And then, so yeah, all the Eagles fans are happy about that. Rookie mini camp's happening. We see him take his first drills of football ever. He looks slow. He looks stiff. They're like, oh, never mind. But it's like, no, just pump the brakes. It took Jordan Mailata like 3 years. Just sitting back and training. So I'm excited. I hope he has a similar career path as Mailata because this dude is just, I mean, if you can get just like an average football player out of him, that's a win.
Absolutely. You're just looking for any value or diamonds in the rough you can in the late rounds. So
and then the Eagles' last pick is Keyshawn James Newby out of New Mexico State edge.
Yep. Not too much analysis on this guy. Never heard of him. Cool. Get some more edge depth. He was in college football for 6 years. Montana Tech, then Idaho, and then ended his career in New Mexico.
Yeah,
9
go
sacks
Vandals.
last year. Started 46 games in college career and registered 23.5 sacks. Cool. Yep. The last pick of the draft. So not too much analysis from me.
Also,
Yeah,
Herbert,
oh,
do
go ahead.
want to just wanted to circle back and let you know, Heidenreich in that game had 62 rushing yards and 64 receiving yards and got a touchdown. He was the only Navy player to catch more than one ball.
Yep.
He
So
had 5.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Also,
If you can catch 5 balls in a game with Navy, you're basically the next Christian McCaffrey.
We're
Anyways,
set for
continue.
life. We have the next Debo Samuel and the next Christian McCaffrey. We are all good.
There you go.
there you go. No pressure.
All in all, it was definitely one of the drafts of all time. I feel like this draft lacked a lot of star talent, and then towards the end of the draft, I don't know, I kind of fell out of it. But I think next year's draft, it has the capabilities to be absolutely star-studded
Mm-hmm.
with everybody going in their last year of eligibility. I think this next draft can hit it out of the park with Washington. Don't get me wrong, Pittsburgh hosted an amazing draft, broke the record for attendance and everything. It's just I feel like the star talent wasn't there like it was supposed to be.
Yeah, we'll circle back and we'll see. Also, just one more shout out from the Eagles draft. Unsigned free agent, the other international player program guy, also got picked up by the Eagles, Joshua Weru, out of Kenya. So
Very cool.
there you go. Got them at edge. So we got 2 IPP guys on the defensive line.
You
Ready
do
in
what?
3 years, it's going to be crit. IPP. Oops. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's the NFL draft.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and touch on some other stupid sports that are going on in the world. The NHL playoffs are going on if anybody's watching. Put your fucking shit down.
For the audio only listeners, I am currently wearing a Philadelphia Flyers jersey.
And
Yeah.
I'm wearing a Vegas Golden Knights Division Champs t-shirt.
Yeah, Colorado beat the Knights 4-0. Minnesota beat Dallas 4-2.
No,
Vegas
they did
beat-
not. We haven't played them.
Oh, sorry. Colorado beat the Kings. I don't know why I said Knights. Colorado beat the Kings 4-0. Minnesota beat Dallas 4-2. Knights beat the Mammoths 4-2. The Anaheim Ducks beat Edmonton 4-2. Buffalo beat Boston 4-2. Montreal beat Tampa 4-3. Carolina swept Ottawa 4-0, and there wasn't another game after that.
All right, let's address it. Flyers, Penguins, Battle of Pennsylvania.
Fires beat the Pens.
Belongs to Philly. It was quite a nerve-wracking series near the end there, especially that last game. The Flyers, I really thought were about to choke this thing.
Man, I was hoping.
Yeah, I mean, we went that whole game. I mean, thank God Vlader is a freaking brick wall because that final game, because especially in OT, the Penguins were out shooting us crazy. It looked like we didn't even know what we were doing out there. They just had so much great puck control out there, and we were just like freaking figure skating or whatever. But then we finally got that last walk off to seal the series. I forget who made it, but and I was thinking in my head is like, we could have avoided this final game completely if not for that fluky ass Vlader goal where it bounces off the back wall, off of the back of his leg and into his own goal. I was terrified that was going to be the legacy of Vlader, but he made up for it. He made up for it in this last game. So,
well, I mean, Pittsburgh could have avoided losing entirely if they just didn't spend the first 3 games skating around.
True.
Just enjoying being on the ice.
I also spent a lot of the first few games just fighting each other constantly.
Yeah.
You had 6 guys in each box at one point.
I didn't tune into the last 2 Flyers Pirate. Oh my God.
Flyers.
Penguins game. God, the Pirates might have put up more of a fucking, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the last two because they started winning. Tuned into all three, we lost. And then the moment I stopped watching, we started winning. So I just stopped watching. And I forget where I was for this game, the last game of the game 6. But I remember wondering why I wasn't getting any notifications. I'm like, nobody scored. And then I get one. You got you celebrating before I got the goal, and I was like, damn, it sucks.
Yep.
But right now, Colorado's up 1-0 on the Wild, and Carolina is up 1-0 on the Flyers. The other two games.
No, they're not. Flyers are up 2-1.
I don't mean score. I mean series.
Oh, series. Oh, sorry.
Did you guys see the final for that Wild Avs game last night?
Did not.
9-6.
Oh,
Jesus.
hell, nice.
Crazy
Welcome back,
stuff.
So how are you feeling about the Knights after their first series in the playoffs?
I will say I'm feeling very different than I think one of the last couple times. It was either the last time or one of the last few times we talked about hockey on this podcast.
Yeah, you said hot take. I don't think the Knights are making the playoffs.
I didn't think they're making the playoffs. I legitimately thought they were going to fall out. The team looked completely lost. They were just completely out of sorts. And then they went and let go of Bruce Cassidy, which I guess in the end, it looks like it was the right decision. It was a bummer because he was the coach that got us to win our first Stanley Cup as a franchise. I have nothing but good things to say about Bruce Cassidy in general, but it seems like he'd lost the locker room. I really thought that especially after his stint with Philly, bringing in John Tortorella seemed like a weird decision that I didn't really like, but he has done nothing but gel with these guys and really motivate the team. So this looks like a completely different team than they do. What?
You also got Hart, right? The goalie?
We do have Carter Hart, and that's that's a whole other thing.
Yeah.
But as far as on the ice, like the team looks completely different than they did a month or so ago. They kind of surged at the end of the season. That series against Utah, I really didn't know which way it was going to go because there were times that Vegas seemed like they were outplaying Utah, but it seemed like the kind of the youth and fiery vibe from the Mammoth was keeping them in it. And there was so many back and forths in that series the entire way. And the trend that's been rough for this season carried through into most of the first round, where we always are playing from down and we have to come from behind. And I think I saw a stat a couple days ago. I've just pulled it back up to kind of give emphasis on that. They found out in NHL history, there's been 29 cases of a team trailing in the third period in each of the first 5 games of a playoff series. Of those 29 teams, 28 were behind or had already lost the series after 5 games. The only exception was Vegas being up 3-2. Which they just kept playing from behind on that. But I think the playoff experience came through. They were able to close it out. I did not manage to stay up for game 6. That was kind of a common trend through some of the series, unfortunately. And I was able to stay up for all of 2 of the games with the West Coast swing. And unfortunately, one of those I stayed up for was when we went to double overtime in game 5.
It goes to like 2 a.m.
2 a.m. Oh, that was brutal. But game 6, it looked like they had him, I wouldn't say in an absolute clinic because I think it was pretty tight for a bit, but the final score wound up being like 5-1, if I remember right. They locked it down when they needed to. So feeling good. I think Vegas should beat Anaheim, but Anaheim did, I think, sweep the season series against us. So don't really know for sure what to expect. NHL is pretty unpredictable, but just feeling good to be where we're at, considering how we were feeling about the squad like a month ago.
There you go.
Also, we made it farther than Dallas and Edmonton, and I will always take that.
Yeah, screw Dallas.
Yeah.
Gavin, how do you feel about going
Going?
to round 2? How do you feel?
Oh, feeling good, man. I mean,
All
it was
right, I
great.
don't care. I'm just kidding.
I was riding that high of beating the Pens, and then I was like, oh, we got the Hurricanes next. And so I was like, reality set. I was like, all right, all right. We're the hot-handed team, a bunch of young guys. We'll see. We're up 2-1 right now against the Hurricanes. We've lost every series we've had to them this season, except one when they were resting a lot of their starters. But the NHL is a crazy place. You never know what'll happen. So
I mean, in all reality, is it that crazy? Because if you look at the bracket on each side, they're parallel. Division 1 team beat the wild card on both sides. Division 3 beat the Division 2 team on both sides.
well, maybe just because they're better.
I hate hockey.
Well, we can talk
That,
about another sport if you
that
want.
ultimately was probably the final game where the big three step on the
Oh
ice.
yeah, yeah.
Sidney Crosby, Crystal Tang, and Evgeny Malkin are probably not going to play hockey together ever again. And as I get emotional, it is emotional because they've been playing for fucking year. I mean, over a decade plus.
Yeah.
It just this Pens team it
Please, Crosby, retire. Please, please,
I don't think
please.
that's gonna happen. But
I
I
was
think
going to say, Herbert, with where they're at right now, what is the direction you're hoping to go with?
up,
The-
but
Well,
I
yes,
want to go down.
I want to get younger. I want this team to get younger. As much as I would love the big three to stay together, I want this team to get absolutely younger. It
Yep.
needs their age showed tremendously in that series against the Flyers. It needs this team needs to become younger and it needs to become younger fast. But it's and I don't mean to sound dramatic, but there seems to be an enormous gray cloud coming in over the city of Pittsburgh when it comes to sports. I mean, granted, I get it. Both teams were just in playoffs, the Pens and the Steelers, but man, it's been a good part of 10 years where they get into playoffs, and that is it. Playoffs and done.
Yeah.
They're just happy to be. They're good enough to go to the dance, but not good enough to dance with the people that are there.
I was going to say, like, I hate to just cop out and combine the two of them as like the same thing, but it does really feel like the Pens are kind of doing the same thing as the Steelers, where it feels like this is a team that is still riding the coattails of about 10 years ago. And they've just kind of kept rehashing, bringing the band back together. I think you still could have kept pieces to it, but I think there were different ways that you could have done it and, maybe retool there for a couple years and get back to act like really contending. It just feels like they've kind of been stuck in the muck for a while.
They just have the same philosophy. Like, both teams are afraid to go, I feel like, in rebuild mode.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something that both teams desperately need. I mean, if you take a look at it, look back at the times where the Penguins and the Steelers have had top picks in the draft and who they came home with. The Pens got Crosby, who absolutely turned that franchise. I mean, the franchise was in desperate need. I mean, they were going to sell. They were about to be out of Pittsburgh. They'd probably end up in Kansas City. But you get a guy like Sidney Crosby, and he completely turns that franchise around. And then on the flip side with the Steelers, the last time they had a high draft pick, they got Ben Roethlisberger, a guy that turned the franchise back to what it was in the 70s. I mean, maybe not that good, but he got them to Super Bowls.
Yeah.
I don't know why this team is so stuck at being like average. Both these
No
teams.
one wants to lose. I mean, these are people don't because when people lose their jobs, right? So obviously these guys are playing for their jobs. They're not gonna like tank on purpose.
I mean,
I was going to say, do you think, aside from being very stuck in their ways and sticking with the kind of systems that have worked and not really adapting, just going with it because they have won with it, do you think, Herbert, that maybe I've never really thought about this, but just kind of curious your thoughts. Do you think the fact that the Pirates are on the other side of town kind of gives them a little bit of the fear of God of what happens if we're playing bad? Like people not showing up and calling them kind of the butt of the joke sort of deal. I mean, we deal with the same thing with the Reds, but like you got two teams that have been winning championships for the 21st century, and then the Pirates.
I don't think that plays into any effect because the Pirates, they just, yeah, they're the butt of the joke of everything, and there's been history of the owner can't own a team for shit, and they can't get a coach to stay there and run the team. But I think that Pittsburgh with the Steelers and the Penguins they've had their coaches when Mike Sullivan, who just recently got let go a couple years ago, and then Mike Tomlin were there. And when they were there, they were just good. They were good enough to get to the promised land. They were good enough to get it done in the early 2010s and some for the Pens, the late 2010s and like 2017, whichever one they won the Stanley Cup. I think it was maybe not 2017, but
16 and 17,
16.
yeah.
So
Back to back.
yeah, it's with the coaches that they had, they were able to get there and get the job done. But on the tail end of both of their careers, when the game had moved by them, they weren't able to get it done when it mattered most in the playoffs. And I think that ultimately hurt both the organizations because the front office weren't willing to move on from these Stanley Cup and Super Bowl winning coaches because they've proven time in and time out, game in regular season, that they can hold their own. Aside from the Penguins, a couple years where they didn't make playoffs, but Tomlin never had a losing record. The Pens were in the playoffs year in and year out, and when Mike Sullivan stopped getting them to the playoffs, I think it was the second year he didn't get him to the playoffs, he got terminated. Mike Tomlin, after losing and losing and losing in the playoffs, steps down. I think they just respected their head coaches too much to fire them when they needed to. And it has ultimately hurt it's hurt the organization.
That's a fair point. But I also get it from the owner's perspective.
But if there's a time
not willing to let go, because I mean, the odds that you're gonna get another coach that's gonna be that good, and you're hoping for better, right? If you're gonna fire them, an already established coach, and that's hard to come by.
I agree, but this is a business where you got to take risks.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy.
Yeah, don't give me. Well, that'll be a whole episode. He's somewhat won me over with his heart, but anyways, and I get the whole not wanting to be fired because they'll lose their job, but if there's a time for a rebuild for both organizations, it's now, because this is a first-year head coach with I wouldn't say first year, but first-year head coach with the Penguins in Dan Muse, and a first-year head coach with Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh. If there is a time to tank because you have job security, it is now. They're not going to fire Pittsburgh. The Steelers and the Penguins are not the type of organizations like the Jets to fire you after 1 year. They're not going to do that. They expect growing pains with your job. So if there's a time to tank for great players, it is now. Even the Pirates
doesn't always work though. Tanking out doesn't always work though. You be very careful with what you wish for.
I would have
trust the process.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, if you look at it, the tanking has ultimately worked out for Cincinnati. They have their franchise quarterback in Joe Burrow.
I mean, to be fair, we didn't try to tank. It just kind of happened.
Yeah, you're talking about intentionally tanking.
Losing games unintentionally for Cincinnati has worked out. They have Joe Burrow. They have Jamar Chase. Philadelphia just took a swing on Jalen Hurts at the back end of the first round. Second round.
But when we didn't when we wanted Carson Wentz, we traded future assets to go get him. You got to just be aggressive, specifically in the NFL. You don't necessarily have to tank. You just got to manage your draft capital well, and you got to know when to shoot the trigger.
And I think
and make
Pittsburgh,
the right free agent signings.
and I think the Steelers, they're coming around to the right free agent signings. I feel like I've loved their free agent class this year, but maybe there's two player coach relations. Maybe those are too tight. You know, TJ's coming up on the and I wouldn't say the back end of 30, but like the mid age of 30. He's what, 31, 32 or 30?
Let me see. He is 31.
31. So he'll be what, 32 at the end of this year or 32 at the beginning of next year?
Something like that.
At what point do you, I mean, I would love TJ Watt to be a Steeler for life, but at what point do you turn him for future draft picks? The team has to get younger.
Mhm.
And
Absolutely.
Cam Hayward is proving that Father Time doesn't always win, but Father Time will eventually catch up to you. Like, there's going to come a time where Cam Hayward can't play ball anymore. When do you eventually send him off for future assets?
Yeah,
For
what now?
future assets. Maybe that's the problem with the organization, is that the owner and the players, their relationship is just too tight, that they respect the player too much to send them off for assets. But at the end of the day, this is a business.
Mhm.
You want to put your team in the best position possible, not keep these players around because you had them at Thanksgiving.
Yeah, you need to know when to hold steady, and you need to know when to pull the trigger. It's a delicate balance, specifically in the NFL, and at every sports place too. I mean, look, the Eagles are probably going to get rid of our best wide receiver. I don't hate it though, because he's also getting older. He had a down year, so get good, maybe a first or a second round pick for him. And you do it after June 1st, so you could save some money too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'll finish that rant off by saying it's give up on Aaron Rodgers.
I
Stop.
finished my rant by saying, give up. You can't win.
Let Aaron Rodgers walk off into the sunset. Let him go play for Arizona if he wants. Just give up on the Rodgers scenario.
All roads lead back to Arizona.
Stop waiting for Rodgers. Give these guys in there. Give Will Howard, give Drew Aller a chance. Don't give Mason Rudolph a chance. Cut his ass first second you get. But hopping over into basketball. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, before we jump over into basketball, do you guys want to give your quick predictions for the rest of round 2, how this fares for the 4 playoff series? I know that we've got 2 that are a game under or in, but how do you guys think the conference finals shake out or shape up?
I'll go first. I'm going to go Knights over Ducks in 6. I'm going to go Avalanche over Wild in 6. I'm going to go Sabres over Canadians in 5. And I'm going to go Flyers over Hurricanes in 7.
Okay.
Non-bias.
Not bias. I got Avalanche over the Wild in 4, Anaheim over the Knights in 6, Buffalo over Montreal in 4, and Carolina over Philly in 5.
I'm going to take Colorado in 5. I'm going to take Vegas in 6. So I think Vegas struggles to close series a lot of the time. And Anaheim, like I said, won the regular season. I think the playoff experience will win eventually, but it's going to be a rocky road. I like what Buffalo's doing. I'm going to take the Sabres in 6. And I'm sorry, Gavin. I'm going to take Carolina in 6.
Yeah, Flyers suck. Just give it
I'm gonna change mine. I'm taking Carolina in 4.
in for it. Okay. All right. Yep. They just tied it up right now. 2-2.
I was
So-
wondering what that reaction was for.
It's gonna be a rocky road and went. So hopping
He
over to
said, bad
NBA.
take.
So we all hate the Canadians, right?
Yeah, I think that's what we agreed on the most. Canadians.
Canada will still not win a Stanley Cup this year.
Good. Keep
Hopping
it that
over
way.
to NBA, we'll touch on this pretty quickly.
Play the
Thunder-
song. Clap your hands. Everybody. For Philadelphia.
Ignore the score.
76ers.
Fuck the Knicks.
Don't worry about the Knicks right now. They're not real. I'm talking about the Celtics.
Absolutely.
Buck Foston. That's what I have to say.
That.
Thunder-
Go ahead.
Go ahead. If you're talking about
Go ahead.
still talking about the 76ers.
Of course, we're still talking about the 76ers.
Yeah. Basketball isn't a real sport.
That series was a super welcome surprise for me. After I didn't expect them to have much of a series with Boston at first, and then after game 1, I said Boston in 3.
That's about how I was feeling too. Yeah.
But that was one of those where I think, like as the series got further along, I was just like, I kept telling myself like, I'm glad we're playing one more game. Just win. Let's just try to win one more game and keep it
Give me
going.
one more
And
game.
it was, I think a lot of it was a Celtics collapse. When you live and die by the 3, you're going to die when you don't hit the 3.
Yeah. If we just hit one of them said like if we just hit more of those shots, we would have been on top. Like yeah, that's kind of how the game works. You score more points, you might
I hit a
have
home
won.
run. I'd be running home right now.
Let's shoot 53s. Hit 13 of them.
That's the game plan, fellas.
Yeah. But really that series felt super cathartic. Just to get that Boston series off or monkey off our back. I think that was the first time we'd won a series against them since like 82.
Yep.
And
some
first 3-1 comeback
Man.
ever.
Yeah.
Just so
For the Sixers.
great.
For the Sixers.
I was
Yes,
gonna say
yes.
as long if we can write that 3-1 comeback from Cleveland out of history, that's fine.
First
by
one
me.
for the Sixers. First one for the Sixers. So I'm just super happy they've gotten to this point. So
Let's put the league back on notice that Embiid is still here and he's still elite. So
until the Knicks sweep him in 4.
Huh? What you said?
What? I said until the Knicks sweep him in 4.
No. Embiid came back, and it was, I told y'all after game 1, I just Embiid, please come back, and he did.
Yep.
After having a freaking appendix removal surgery, absolutely. You can never convince me that as much as Embiid get injured, he is not one of the toughest guys in the freaking NBA. He plays through so much. He just has such bad luck when it comes to that stuff. And he was out there freaking armor farming on Boston, bro. He was doing push-ups in the middle of the court.
Maxey had himself a series too. He was
Oh yeah. I mean Maxey
electric.
is a baller. And Edgecombe. He's having a good first playoff. You know, he's a rookie, so it's not gonna be like the best, but he's been doing his job.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I haven't tuned into a single game. After the Warriors got bounced in the play-in,
Yeah, when the Warriors play.
I get it.
When's Embiid won a ring?
This
I
year?
forgot. No, that's right. 76ers haven't had that dynasty yet, have they?
No, it's starting right now, right before your eyes.
Aren't the Knicks up by like 50?
This is what happened in last game 1. You gotta.
This is what happened against Boston too.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this series the same way I did last time. Just steal 1 at the Garden.
You have to lull them into a false sense of security.
Just give me
Game
one
1.
day. All I ask you is just give me one more day.
And it's halftime yet. Game's not finished. I ain't hear no bell.
Philly won their series 4-3. The Knicks beat the Hawks 4-2 in the series. Cleveland goes to a game 7 with the Raptors, wins 4-3. The Pistons win a playoff series for the first time, I think, ever. No, I'm just kidding. For the first time in years, Detroit wins a playoff series 4-3 against the Magic. The Spurs 4-1 the Trailblazers. I can't name a single player on that Trailblazers stage. Where the fuck is Damian Lillard back there?
Mr. Blazer. They have Joe Blazer on the team.
Timberwolves 4-2 against the Nuggets. Wow, Jokic is gone out of the playoffs.
Yep.
Lakers won 4-2 against the Rockets, and the Thunder sweep the Suns. Rip Kevin Durant, still trying to touch what he did in Golden State, just floating around the league. He was my favorite player at one point, man.
I remember.
I think the Warriors could have gotten to the playoffs, especially with how talented of a team they have, had they not had the injuries that they suffered throughout the year with Jimmy Butler out for the year and Curry on and off the court getting hurt, and you trade you trade Jonathan Kuminga to get Kingus Pingus.
Tangus Pingus.
Dude, after that, I stopped tuning into the NBA, man. It is a dark time for sports for me, man. Nothing is going right. The Steelers draft class was mediocre at best. Pens got bounced from the playoffs. Pirates, the first time the Pirates are doing good, they're still at the bottom of the fucking division.
Our division's stupid, dude.
That's kind of crazy.
Blaney's running mid-20s. He got 10th yesterday because of he stayed out. So he restarted 7th and finished 10th. It has not been good for sports.
Herbert, you're kind of experiencing my life in like 2019.
I don't want this.
It's not fun. The Reds were the scariest 73 win team in baseball history, dude. That was a great time.
It's just not been fun.
With Philly sports, there's usually at least one team that's doing good. So I haven't had like a thing where all 4 of my teams are like ass at the same time.
It's coming. It's coming.
Maybe I'm probably due for it at this point.
What is your guys' predictions for this round to go into the conference finals for the NBA?
Gavin, do you want to go ahead?
Sure, I'm pulling it up right now. Sixers in 5 against the
Watching game 1, got it.
Yeah, I'll do Sixers in 6 actually, because that's in our name. I'm gonna take the Cavs over the Pistons in 5. I'm gonna take. Didn't the Wolves have pretty bad injury luck this past series?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay, I'm gonna take the Spurs in 5, and then I'll take the Thunder in 7.
I'm going to go with the Thunder in 5, the Spurs in 4, the Cavs in 7, and the Knicks in 7.
I'm going to take the Thunder in 5. We get one good LeBron carry game.
LeBron!
And that's the end of his Lakers career. I'll take Spurs in 5. Pistons. I think the Pistons are fraudulent. I'm going to take the Cavs. I'm going to take the Cavs in 6. As much as I want to call Philly, I think I'm going to go Knicks in 6.
You can't do that.
You can and you will.
Hey, last time I said Boston in 3 and we won the series. So let me just keep doubting them and enjoy it. Give me one more day.
One more day.
And then baseball's baseball.
Yep. Phillies did fire their manager, Rob Thompson, after a 9-19 start to the season, which
Brutal.
is just unacceptable for the amount of talent we have. And especially since we're one of the oldest teams in the MLB, we can't be starting the season like that. Like, we need to win. Well, now they've actually been on a little streak. I guess the Phillies just play better when you fire their freaking manager in the middle of the season.
Yeah, because aren't they like 3-0 since then? Maybe
I think
4-0?
so. Yeah, that we just beat the Marlins. I'm pretty sure.
Yep. Pens. Pirates just came off of a sweep on the Reds yesterday.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. We actually
Classic Reds.
we just swept the Marlins in a 4-game series. And
Sure.
so we're actually, and we swept the Giants before that.
So they're just on a tear.
Yeah, we're on a 7-game winning streak.
Everybody's playing in division right now except for the Pirates.
Oh, the Marlins took one of those.
Oh, they did? Am I crazy?
They won Saturday, but the Phillies still won 3 out of 4.
Oh, they did. Oh my god. I read it wrong. But yeah, we're still balling.
Yeah, the Reds are off to their best start in, I don't know if it's franchise history or it's at least since the 2000s. They started 20-11 before dropping all those games to the Pirates, and if we're sitting first place in the Central for a minute there, but of course it's a year where the Central literally has more teams with a winning record than the entire American League does.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
The year the Pirates are actually contenders with the division were 3.5 games back, but still 3 games positive.
Yeah.
Luckily, if the score continues, St. Louis will drop the Brewers. They're up 4-1 on them right now. So the Brewers will drop under Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh will hop to 4th in the division, and the Reds are up 3-0 on the Cubs, which will pull the Cubs closer.
Honestly, I didn't realize that game got underway. I guess it has been an hour and a half since I checked it.
Yeah, they're in the top of the 4th right now, 2 outs, 0-1 count. But yeah, that is your past couple weeks in sports. It's been a bit of a longer episode, but we touched on just about everything. Is there anything else you guys want to add?
Go Flyers.
Nothing in particular right now. I know there's other news on other stuff we can hit up, but probably can get into more things during the next episode. A lot of draft coverage on this one, so.
Yeah, with the NFL on the tail end of the draft, I think our episodes will start getting shorter because we won't be covering the NFL as much until they start.
And just chat more on some of the other things going on. When's the schedule release? I was thinking about that earlier.
May 15th, I think.
May 15th.
Something like that.
May the 15th be with you.
What? But we'll go ahead and end it here. So we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace.
See ya.
Go Knights. Go Sixers.
Go Sixers.